We also have some very strong winds popping up near Farragut, and you can tell that because of that brighter color. Let's switch it over to our shear, and you can still see at least some broad rotation possible there in Lenoir City. Now, on top of the wind potential, they're dealing with torrential rainfall from this, and I really think from Farragut all the way down towards Davis, this is going to be the area we've got to keep our eyes on. I've also noticed that our lightning counter has increased. It's gone up to about 52 strikes just in the area we're showing you here, and sometimes that can be an indicator as well that these storms are trying to strengthen. So again, we've got several active severe thunderstorm warnings, including for portions of Blount, Knox, Sevier counties, Loudoun County also under that. That new warning that they expanded for Blount County, Knox County, Sevier County goes until 3:45 p.m. this afternoon. I'm going to zoom in even a little bit more to show you where right now we're seeing some really torrential rain. This is near North Shore Elementary, kind of near the Cactus Cove area. Also here near the Mount Vernon area, down near Disco. Let's turn back on our wind product here as well. And I wouldn't be surprised to be seeing some really strong wind gusts there near Farragut and also there near Audubon Hills, at least about 57-mile-per-hour winds. Now that makes sense. That's why they put that severe thunderstorm warning out. But gusts up to 70, not going to be out of the question with this cell. This is also near the South College area. I'm going to push even a little bit further to our south, and I'm kind of closely watching to make sure that we're not seeing any sort of rotation at the moment. There could be some broad rotation. Let's turn back on our shear markers here a little bit, kind of down near Greenback, maybe some broader rotation popping up. One other thing I want to show you is our hail path. Now, so far today, these storms have not included a lot of hail, but this cell back near Lenoir City into Loudoun and Philadelphia, where we saw that purple color come up on the radar. It was torrential rain, but some small size hail may have also fallen, especially back near the Philadelphia community. So lots of hazards here that you could be dealing with. Again, we've got this active severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Loudoun, Blount, and Sevier counties, as well as part of Knox County. So please make sure you're taking this threat seriously. And we're also going to kind of just toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Ken Weathers. Ken, did they expand that warning a little bit?
The one for Knox?
Yeah.
At this point, no. No, it's still the same, Victoria.
Okay.
I will say, quickly looking, Tellico Village, Tanasi Cove, we showed you the live shot as that very heavy rainfall made its way through. The heaviest has shifted east, but look, visibility still extremely low. The green here completely flooded with all that heavy rainfall we have across the area. And I want to show you a different view. This will be from West Knoxville, kind of the TIS Insurance Services building camera looking west. So we're looking down I-40. Heavy rain starting to move into this area as well. And you can see kind of the raindrops blowing across the area, indicating that extremely heavy rainfall. So just kind of a perspective as to what's going on with all the heavy rainfall that we've been seeing. The cell that we're keeping, I'd say, the closest eye on is coming out of northern Blount County and kind of making its way right on the Blount and Knox County borders, moving northeast at 85 miles per hour. As Victoria said, there may be some small hail with this. It's showing about a 60% chance that there could be hail, but about a 30% chance that it's 1 inch in diameter or larger. So most likely some pea-sized hail, I'd say, very small. Bigger impacts will be winds with this. Middle Settlements Elementary there in Blount County, that's at 314. The airport at 315. Rocky Hill at 316. And Rockford Elementary at 317 as this moves off towards the northeast. So they're moving quickly, and once they move through, the threat will be over with, but not until it does. Again, areas north and east, we're going to still hear the rain on our studio now as that cell is coming through. Our warning goes until 3:45 for the area and also into Blount County as well. They do have Sevier County till 3:45 as well in this warning. Again, a little bit away from that, but this would be the cell getting very close to the airport as we speak in the Louisville community. As Victoria mentioned, maybe some broad rotation with that. Really hard to see. Going to be hard to pick up if there is, but just know that damaging wind gusts certainly are going to be possible with these as they come through the area as quickly as they are moving. Here's a wider perspective. This is all just rain, areas to the south. So eastern Monroe, eastern Blount at this point not under a warning, but I would still keep an eye areas north as we go up through Jefferson, Hamblin, Granger, over into Sevier, Cock, and even Greene counties. That threat is not done yet, but this is kind of the main cell that we're watching rapidly moving to the north and east. at about 70 to 80 miles per hour. So the active warnings we have goes until 3:45 for Knox, also the northern sections of Sevier and northern Blount counties as well. Go to the TIS Insurance Services building camera, and it's pretty much the exact same thing that we showed you down into Loudoun County. It's the kind of visibility or the lack thereof that we're going to be seeing across the region. Extremely heavy rainfall, blinding type rainfall out there. Now we also have some TDOT SmartWay cameras that we're going to show you here. This is I-75. Where? Oh, Eaton's Crossroads. That's right where 75 and 40 split on the west side of town, where you can go towards Nashville or down towards Chattanooga. And again, maybe a little bit better visibility there, at least compared to what we were seeing with the TIS camera, as heavy as the rain is. And we're hearing that heavy rain on our roofs as well. And that's Watt Road we're taking a look at as well with the very heavy rainfall. Again, I don't know if you can come back. You can see the TIS Insurance Services building camera. That is some extremely heavy rainfall right over our area, as you can see. You can't even see I-40, which is right below it there. Just off to the left, that's kind of the shopping area that has Trader Joe's in it. So again, you can barely see. You can kind of see headlights off there into the distance. Let's take a look at Market Square real quick. See if the rain has moved into there. Not quite yet, but it's close. Get those people move inside if possible. All right, we got Cedar Bluff as well. This is I-40. Looks like that'll be some eastbound traffic. I-40 Cedar Bluff, the eastbound traffic going away from us. Westbound coming towards us on the left-hand side. Look at the ponding that we're seeing on the area roadway. So that's the concern that we have as well with this heavy rainfall, the potential for power outages. That's certainly going to be a concern as we go over the next couple of hours. All right, let's come back here quickly. Wanted to show you the track of the cell that we're watching. Severe thunderstorm warning till 3:45 for Knox, northern Blount and Sevier County, Rocky Hill Elementary around 3:19, Rockford at 3:20, and Aguani Golf Course, that's at 3:20 as well. Storms are racing to the north and east at nearly 85 miles per hour, so about as quickly as the warnings get issued, you need to make sure you're in your safe area. All right, hard to see much in the way of. There's probably some broad rotation with some of these. More than anything, we're just talking about the potential for damaging wind gusts, and as we showed you, extremely heavy rainfall that's across the area. Victoria, anything else that you're seeing? The storms back to the west, especially in McMinn County, they look a lot quieter now, and they're trimming the watch pretty quickly behind these cells as they move through.
Yeah, and that's kind of as expected, Ken. I mean, we knew these storms were going to move exceptionally fast, and you can see just over the past 30 minutes or so, we've directed our attention from McMinn County and portions of southeast Kentucky to now moving into portions of Knox County, Blount County, and also Sevier County. I did check back in on that cell in Kentucky, and it looks like things are a lot quieter there as well. Let's get you up to speed, though, if you're just joining us. We've got an active severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Blount, Knox, and Sevier counties, and that is going to go until 3:45 p.m. Right now, I'd say we're seeing our heaviest of the rain from Louisville into Knoxville and also back near Farragut. I'm going to turn back on our winds, not seeing much in terms of the potential for some rotation, but we are watching definitely some stronger winds down here into Maryville, also kind of near Montvale Elementary, and we've been continuing to see that also kind of near Bonnie Kate Elementary as well. Looks like they're trying to trim back some of those warnings, so that is good news. Not seeing much in terms of that rotation, just still pretty weak at the moment. I do want to just look a little bit further to our north there and kind of see what's going on closer to the Norris area. Likely some heavy rain there as well. They're not officially under the severe thunderstorm warning, but as these storms continue to progress to the north and east, going to be something we really need to keep our eyes on. So again, we're weather aware this afternoon due to those severe thunderstorm warnings, active until 3:45 p.m. for part of Knox County, Blount County, and also there near Sevier County as well. Down here near Madisonville, these storms have lost a little bit of their intensity. Not quite as impressive, although they could still be seeing some gusty to damaging winds down near the Madisonville area. Let's take a brief moment and check in on our southeast Kentucky counties because we don't want you guys to think we forgot about you. Looks like they have expired all of your warnings, so that is some good news. Of course, this line of storms still headed off to the north and east. One other thing I want to check in on, especially given the heavy rain that we've been seeing, is our power outage map, because we talked about how this Hoyle is really saturated right now from the heavy rain that we've already seen, and that's resulting in some power outages. About 1,000 customers without power into Blount County and Knox County, and 1,500 customers without power there in Sevier County. Those numbers likely going to continue to go up as this line moves through. We still have that active tornado watch as well in effect for many areas, but they have dropped it off for parts of the plateau. I think this graphic gives you a great idea of what locations are currently being impacted by severe storms. There you go. They're dropping off one of those severe thunderstorm warnings. Still have that one though for Loudoun County, Monroe County, Knox County, portions of Blount and Sevier counties as well. That's going to go until 3:45 with the tornado watch for portions east until about 8 o'clock this evening. Let's go back to the radar and get you caught up on what we're seeing. We can hear the heavy rain here in downtown Knoxville, very heavy. Now we've seen a little bit of some hail with a couple of these cells, mainly that one that made its way through Loudoun. Checking in on our hail path, I'm not expecting to see hail at the moment into Knox County, but we may have been noticing at least a little bit trying to creep in there near the Arrowhead, Bonnie Kate Elementary area. This telling us that we could have potentially seen at least a little bit of hail, also south of Farragut, back there near Marmore as well. Ken, what is that alert there that they're watching?
What was that? Did you see?
We're going to continue.
Nothing. Okay,
Nothing
yep,
at the
we're
moment.
fine.
Okay, great. We're always listening for that noise to see if they're indicating any sort of rotation with these storms. But again, yes, Ken.
Knoxville and southwards.
Yeah, I see. From this little area here from Louisville as
Yes.
well. Yeah, some stronger wind potential there. You can see that kind of trying to bow out maybe a little bit. Again, Louisville into the Maryville community seeing some stronger winds. That severe thunderstorm warning once again continuing until 3:45 for Blount, Sevier County, and Knox County there as well. Bo is also over at our traffic center. Bo, I've taken your traffic computer, but hopefully you still have some info for us.
Yeah, I just kind of give you an idea of what to expect all around the area. Take a look. We pull up a number of TDOT SmartWay cameras for you. This is I-275 at High School right now. I mean, it's like wading through just a shallow pool, if you will, as cars driving through. You can see the waves that they're making as they're driving through. The rain really coming down just north of the downtown area there along on 275. Rain here. This is I-40 Alcoa Highway. Right now, just large drops hitting the camera lens here. Traffic going by. What traffic there is, very, very slow. We can see a lot of water being kicked up behind them. Traffic at a standstill. I-40 out near Level Road right now, especially westbound. Eastbound's kind of moving at a snail's pace, but westbound really coming to a crawl. Live look for you here, I-40. This is the Fifth Avenue camera, which obviously Fifth Avenue and I-40 don't intersect, but this is right there near James White Parkway, again, to give you another idea of where we're looking. Camera really starting to bounce around right now. Some of those wind gusts, heavy rain, traffic moving slow right now, but again, oh, you just saw the flash there. I-40, again, traffic for you right now near downtown. The area, traffic very slow, east and westbound. This guy here going from one lane all the way over across 3. Looks like maybe he's just going to try to hop off the interstate here in a moment. And then another live look for you, I-40 out near Turkey Creek. Traffic there moving a little bit better. Not as much spray being kicked up, but the rain still coming down as you can see. So again, very, very slow for you. I-40 Alcoa Highway back over here. Again, it's disappearing. This is kind of what Ken showed us. There you go. There's a full look for you. Kind of what Ken was looking at earlier in Loudoun County. Now as that system is moving through, and it's just harder and harder to see what's happening. The rain really coming down. It's actually going sideways. The raindrops as they're hitting the camera lens. Tough to make out some of the trucks. You can't see the eastbound lane. Westbound, you see it just down in the corner there. Trucks have their flashers on right now, really starting to take it easy. Again, traffic moving very, very slow right now. And that's really when you know you've been there. That is that white knuckle, 2 hands on the steering wheel kind of driving. Got to slow it down. Let's go over to Ken right now. Ken, I know downtown behind you, tough to see as the rain's coming down.
Yeah, Market Square, great example again of the very heavy rainfall that we're getting across the area. The airport, by the way, just had a 63-mile-per-hour wind gust as well. So that was at McGee-Tyson Airport, 63-mile-per-hour wind gusts as those storms move through. People seeking shelter here, obviously, with the heavy rainfall that we've been seeing across the area, and still watching this storm really racing off to the north and east. So it's right over downtown Knoxville, the heaviest rain now, extending all the way down towards the airport. But we are high and dry, all quiet, severe storm threat-wise. Western Roane County through Morgan, Scott, Campbell, well, not Campbell yet, Scott, Fentress, and back into Cumberland County. You've been cleared from the tornado watch for your area, but please know that the winds are going to stay very strong as we go through the rest of the evening, maybe up till about midnight. We could still be seeing some 30 to 50 plus mile per hour wind gusts even behind these storms once they move through your area. Hopefully you secured all the outdoor lawn furniture, the trampolines, those kind of things, because they are going to be blown around across the area with these very strong winds. I know as well that a lot of people today is trash day, right? Trash pickup day. That's a concern as well across the area. They've canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for Monroe and Roane, so they've dropped that. So Roane County looks like you're free. The one in northwest Monroe that was right there, that's free and clear. Still keeping this one though, that goes until 4:15. I bet it's for that line that's making its way into the Smokies. So not much longer, Madisonville, about another 20 minutes, you'll be done. Kingston, you're free and clear. Wartburg, Crossville, Jamestown, you're good. Areas to the north and east, though, we still need to stay on top of this as it's moving to the north and east. Quickly, I want to talk about this again, what we're watching ahead of these storms as they're moving through. One thing that we want to take a look at is the dew point temperatures, or basically it's the measure of moisture in the atmosphere. Pretty high where we're seeing those storms now. Anything over that 60-degree mark, that's fuel, if you will, for these storms. We've seen that build over the last couple of hours. That's why we're seeing those storms really strengthen as they've made their way into Blount and Knox County. We'll see if that will fill in areas to the east as those storms get closer to it. But that's why the Storms Prediction Center did go ahead and issue the tornado watch areas east to include Jefferson County, Hamblin, Granger, eastward over towards the Tri-Cities until 8 o'clock. We'll continue to see these get dropped off as we go over the next, say, 30 to 45 minutes where the storms have already moved through. It even sounds like some of the heavier rainfall has started to taper off here over our studios. To kind of give you an idea of where these storms are, this is where we are right now. So this is the forecast product showing where they'll go. By 4 o'clock, they're kind of knocking on the doorstep of the east side of town and pushing over to the mountains by the time we get to 6. So really, we're only about 2.5 hours away from this moving out of here, the storm threat being done, but still being very windy across the area. We're going to send it back over to Victoria for just a second. She's going to recap the storms that we're seeing just to the south of Knoxville. Victoria?
Yeah, and Ken, I'm continuing to track those thunderstorms. Again, if you're just joining us, we're weather aware this afternoon as we have several active severe thunderstorm warnings. Right now, one of those is for Knox County, Blount County. It also extends into portions of Sevier County. And if we zoom out even a little bit more, we still have a severe thunderstorm warning as well into Monroe County and also back down there kind of near the Etowah community, but they're going to let that warning expire because the brunt of the storm in McMinn County has already passed through. What they're really watching here for Monroe County is back here near Madisonville. I would continue to say, though, that the strongest storm is this one that's moving into Knox County at the moment. It's been producing some torrential rainfall, and you can see from Knoxville all the way down towards Bonnie Kate Elementary, down towards Alcoa near the airport. We're noticing a little bit of a bowing segment there. That could be some damaging wind potential. Ken mentioned as well that 60-mile-per-hour wind gust or greater that they've already reported at the airport. Let's turn back on some of our velocities. I'm not seeing much in terms of rotation, but anywhere you're noticing that brighter red color, that's going to be a concern there near Cave Mill, down back towards Gooseneck as well, as these areas may be dealing with winds gusting up to 70 miles per hour. Because the soil is so saturated from our recent rains and now the heavy rain that we're currently getting in on, there is going to be that chance for some down trees and power outages. So if you're under the severe thunderstorm warning for Knox County, Blount County, Sevier County, Monroe County as well, make sure you're in your safe space. You want to be somewhere away from windows and doors, an interior room of your home as these storms pass through. They're going to be moving fairly fast, so you're not going to be impacted for long, but that impact could be significant for some areas. Let's check back in here on our radar. You can see the really heavy rain. It also looks like we may have seen at least a little bit of some hail that could have developed into portions of Knox County. We'll turn back on our hail path there. So a lot of different threats. Still looking like we may be seeing some isolated small hail back near Knoxville. I think we were more likely to have seen some of that hail south of the Farragut area back into Lenore City. And remember, when this storm was over the Philadelphia community, that's where we saw those sheets of rain. That's going to also be a big concern here, but not seeing too much in terms of rotation. One thing I do want to mention, though, is back here near Alice Bell Elementary. Let's see if we can zoom back in there. Kind of near that area, that brighter green color popping up near Austin East High School. That tells me the winds are really strong at the moment. Remember, you're under that severe thunderstorm warning. You don't want to be outside for this. Make sure you're somewhere safe. It's going to be really difficult to see as well as you're dealing with that torrential rainfall that's also making its way a little bit further to the east. Some roads that are being impacted here as well by this heavy rainfall, kind of near Chilhowie Hills. This is right near I-640 there as well, kind of near the Rutledge Pike community. Heavy rainfall and some strong wind gusts based on what we can see here on the radar. Not looking like we're seeing much in terms of rotation. And just so you know, it does look like those warnings off into portions of southeast Kentucky have been allowed to expire. So most of this right now centered for Knoxville and then areas further to our south. Again, that severe thunderstorm warning continues until about 3:45 p.m. Eastern time. And I'd say within the next 10 minutes or so, they're going to have to make the decision as to whether or not they're going to continue that warning and push it off further to the east. Next places to be impacted would be Dandridge and Morristown. So they're probably going to expand that into portions of Jefferson County because of that wind potential. We're also being joined right now by Lexi Spivak and Bo Williams. I know you guys have been keeping up to date on the conditions across the area. What's the latest?
I tell you what, Lexi, power outages. And what's interesting here, or Victoria, thank you, Lexi, when we're talking about the power outages, we were watching them. They were like at 1,400 at one point. Then we dropped down to 783.
Things I don't want to say. I mean, it looked hopeful there. We're like, oh, okay, we're down into the hundreds. And all of a sudden, more than 10,000 customers at last update. I mean, if you've been with us here all afternoon, just look how different this map is looking right now. Again, actually, more than 15,000 customers. I just pressed refresh here on my phone. More than 15,000 KUB customers without power at this time.
So again, as this storm makes its way across the area, we're gonna watch these dots, and those larger dots are gonna change to go from west to east. But right now, the larger concentrations you just saw in the west. Let's take a look at some video that's been coming in from some of our crews and from some of you as well. And you can see the sheets of rain just coming down across the area.
This is in the West Knoxville area. One of our digital producers sent this in. And, you know, you had mentioned this when you were taking a look at the traffic cameras, just that rain, it's going sideways. It is really strong out there.
Yeah, and you can see more there as it's hitting the blacktop there, if you will, how the rain is coming down, really pounding the area. Tough to drive in as well, making things very difficult. So if you do have to head out, you can see here the gutters are definitely going to get their workouts. This is just outside our building here in North Knoxville, looking a little bit more like a waterfall here at our Greystone studio. So chances are, if you're around this area, you know exactly what we're talking about. You were watching this as well just outside your window, maybe seeing it now, but rain coming down in buckets.
And you can see there, okay, yeah, that person is right there, you know, under our canopy there, but yeah, looking like a waterfall. You can imagine how tough that is to drive through as well. Again, that white knuckle driving. Yeah,
flags as well, obviously give you a good idea. And the driving video we've been talking about, I think we've got some of that for you here. Take a look, and you can see, just watch just how, obviously it's tough to see. You've got the windshield wipers going, but at the heart of that rain comes down, it's just, again, 2 hands on the steering wheel. Hydroplaning, make sure you got a good set of tires on there. This is getting on at 40 at Hall of Fame, so not far from our studios here.
Well, and I'm happy our producer Jeff told us where that was because the visibility is just so low out there. So again, you really need to take things slow. I mean, if you're at home for the night, stay there. You don't need to leave, especially right now while this rain is coming down.
And as Ken's been telling us, and Victoria's been pointing out, this thing's moving at a rapid pace. It's a lot quieter here in the studio. It was really loud just a few minutes ago, and that rain has kind of pushed through, and things are starting to lighten up, at least quiet down a little bit. Doesn't mean it's not raining, and you got to be careful out there, but also watch out for any downed limbs. Ken, I can't believe that you're going to show us a picture. Not long ago, we couldn't really see anything, and this is. Go to Chief Meteorologist Ken Weathers. This is unreal.
Fairfield Glade.
My goodness.
Dorchester Golf Course, sunny. You wouldn't think anything's going on. Look at the ducks. They're enjoying the pond, just swimming along. So unbelievable, the amount of rain that we had earlier. You could barely see, and now we have sunshine there. Let's go a little further east. Embassy Suites Hotel, looking back towards the east. Still very heavy rainfall, extremely gusty winds. The camera actually got turned because the winds were so strong. We're on top of the Embassy Suites Hotel, which is in downtown Knoxville. The camera was turned because the winds were so strong. I had to straighten it back out. It was actually pointing up in the air. So pretty impressive there. Take a little bit further east. We'll show you what it looks like back towards Skylift Park in Gatlinburg, where the rain has yet to arrive, but the winds have been all day. Of course, the lift closed, the bridge closed because of the wind that's had all day, really, across the area. So looks like a few raindrops starting to kick up. The rocking chairs kind of rocking by themselves, obviously, with the brisk wind. So we'll keep an eye on that. Rain has definitely stopped here as we can actually hear ourselves talk across the area. We'll go back quickly, show you what we're looking at across the area. A live look. I was actually checking the wind speeds within this. They're definitely strong. But this cell, again, the warnings we have, that's for Knox County that goes until 3:45, so 14 more minutes, and northern sections of Sevier County. You've yet to see that line, but it's coming your way. That's about exit 407 there at the Smoky. So you're next to see that line of storms kind of make your way through the area. In fact, putting a track on it. Gap Creek around 3:34, Rush Strong at 3:40, the school there. Northview Elementary at 3:40, and Smoky Stadium, like I just mentioned, at 3:41. Right there at exit 407. No indication yet that they're going to extend this warning that's in place. Again, just till 3:45. So what, 12 minutes from right now, 13 minutes from right now, we'll be close to that time frame. So we'll see if they do. But I would still say there's some very strong winds right along that, pushing down the I-40 corridor. Jeff, I don't know if you can check. Okay, let's see where this is. And where is that? Cherokee and Monroe? Okay, let's go take a look at what they're watching. It's going to be just out of our viewing area, okay?